Welcome to Sports Talk with the Cowboy.
Welcome and thanks for riding with the Cowboy. Got a lot of information on the draft from last week's show. All of our picks are in now. We're having the mini rookies mini camp. We usually call it underwear football, where they have no pads and they're in shorts. In the next week and a half, out at $1 Place, that's our unrestricted free agents and our drafted free agents from the draft up in Green Bay. They'll all be there participating for about a week, and then they'll break it up. But it gives them a kind of an assimilation into the camp. Lets them get out there, meet some of the local press, let them run a few drills, get familiarized with the facility. There'll be some more training camps before the main training camp start in July, in June and the end of May. For right now, this is the rookie mini camps. And this is for the rookie players to get out there and meet the coaches, position coaches, get the playbook, start figuring out some of the plays, running some of the plays, giving themselves a little bit of time to get out there and assimilate before some of the OTAs begin for a few weeks they have before the main training camp, to try to get themselves assimilated, to try to get up and get ready to participate in training camp and win them a job on the team. And no real big news as far as any of our draft picks or undrafted free agents. They've all came to camp, signed their intent to be at the training camp, and they're ready to go starting Friday. So we'll keep an eye on with the Bucks of what goes on there. And NFL news unrelated to the Bucks: George Pickens of the Pittsburgh Steelers was traded to the Dallas Cowboys today for a third-round pick in next year's draft. And as you know, Pickens was a #1 receiver in Pittsburgh. But he had issues off the field and on the field with the coach, with an attitude issues, and he was traded to the Cowboys. And the Cowboys got CeeDee Lamb. They didn't have a second receiver, and now they've got a second receiver. And it was a pretty good sized trade. I wonder kind of sort of why they did it after the draft and not a few weeks ago before the draft, and they could have got that third-round pick, but maybe they didn't want to do it that way. Or maybe the Steelers got a receiver they wanted and said, well, let's get rid of Pickens, because we picked up DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks for $15 million a year for the next 3 years to be our #1 receiver. So this is some breaking news in NFL today. Aaron Rodgers has not yet reported to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The rookie minicamp of the Steelers is this Friday also, and all the other NFL teams. But he's not a rookie. He don't need to be in minicamp, so still no movement. But I have to believe that Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers have some kind of a handshake deal with the owner, that he's going to come in sometime after the camp gets started, which is kind of the way it probably is going to play out. We all thought it was going to be by the end of free agency. It didn't happen. It was going to be before the draft. It didn't happen. By the draft, no. After the draft, no. So, who knows? But it's getting close to time for a regular training camp to start in July. And I got a feeling he's got some kind of a handshake agreement with the Rooney family that he's going to be there. And Mike Tompkins, the coach of the Steelers. So, Tomlin knows what's going to happen with him now, I think. But they did get Will Howard from Ohio State. But we digress. This is what's going on with the football. Not a whole lot. It's off season with our Bucks and with all the teams. And now that we went through the draft picks, they're all going to show up and do some light practice. And when I mean that, no pads, no helmet, maybe some drills with helmets on, but no pads, no contact. There's running around, running plays. We'd call it backyard football. Some people call it underwear football because they're wearing the shorts. And that's all that's going on in the NFL this week. I'll keep you posted on next week's show if there's any movement anywhere about anything, and especially about our Bucks. We're moving on to the Tampa Bay Rays. They got beat 8-4 last night by the Philadelphia Phillies in Tampa. They came back and scored a few runs. Yandy Diaz got a home run. The Phillies came in there and slapped a home run in the first inning, got out ahead 3-0, and we fought back to 4-3. Then they made another burst, made it 6-3. Then we made it 6-4. Then they made it 8-4 and left the building. The Phillies will be playing the Rays as we're shooting this show right now on Wednesday night. They're taking the second game at George Steinbrenner Field on Del Mabry in Tampa. Get out there and watch the Rays. It's great seating, open atmosphere. Get out there before it gets too hot. But that's where we are. We've lost the first one at the homestand to the Phillies, and we're in the second one about 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. Keep you posted on the Rays. No big movement as far as any players of the Rays. Hasn't been any of the ones injured in the first weeks of the season that has came back to the Rays. So, again, we'll keep you posted on the season. It's 162 game long, and we're not that far into it, so we got a long way to go. So get out there on Steinbrenner, enjoy the Rays while the weather is able for you to set up in them open air stadium. And then as far as the Lightning is concerned, as we know, they're out of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but the hockey playoffs continue. The Florida Panthers, who beat the Tampa Bay Lightning out of the playoffs from Miami, are still in the playoffs, seeking their second Stanley Cup. They won the Stanley Cup last year, and they're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto tonight. They lost the first game 6-4. Tough game, and the Panthers, just like they did with us, is a physical team, do a lot of good boarding, hitting. They're just a really ferocious team out there, a real physical team. And you know, in hockey, most of the serious physicality comes out in the playoffs because they try to gauge themselves for these playoff series because they're 7 games long and they're very brutal. The Panthers come out with that physicality. It reminds me of the Lightning back here about 3 or 4 years ago when they were winning back-to-back Stanley Cups. The same physicality. And that's what the Panthers have been playing with. They've run into a buzzsaw at the Maple Leafs in Toronto for game 1. We'll see how it goes tonight. I got a feeling they'll come back and out-physical them tonight. But the Maple Leafs are in for a long run against those Panthers because they, as much as we are disliked here in Tampa by being our nemesis, they're a good hockey team. We'll keep you posted on how the Stanley Cup evolves over the next few weeks. As far as the NASCAR scene of last week, it was at Texas Motor Speedway, and it was a good race. Joey Logano won it. He beat Michael McDowell in the last 5 or 6 laps. Michael McDowell's tires went away. He came in and got 2 tires instead of 4, and at the end, his rubber just wasn't sticking his car to the top, and Joey Logano caught him, passed him, and won the race. There will be no race this week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It is Mother's Day, and there will be no NASCAR, and there will be no PGA, and there'll be a lot of events that will be canceled in honor of the mothers of the country. So that's what went on in NASCAR last week. And now I'm going to go to the questions, and first question is from JD. And JD wanted to know what I thought after the draft picks and the free agents and the unrestricted draft picks, what I thought the biggest weakness of the Bucs was for next season. And JD, I think it's inside linebacker. Even though we did not get Jahad Campbell, I think it's inside linebacker. I think we've done real well getting our cornerbacks. I think we've got a good safety group. I think we've got good edge rushers and we got interior guys. But I think the inside linebacker, JD, would be what I would say would be the weakness. And maybe quarterback. Because if Baker goes down, you've got Kyle Trask and the kid from Tulane. That's what you've got as quarterback. We all pray Baker's as tough as he is, and he really is tough. As you get out there and do the tough things we see him do, but God forbid he get hurt, okay? Because then that would be something that would be catastrophic, JD. But as far as other than quarterback, I would think it would be the linebacker. God bless you, JD. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support of the show, and good question. God bless. And the next question is from Alice, and Alice wanted to know what I thought about the automated strike umpires that will be used in Major League Baseball next year. I think it's good because for all these years we've had the problem with umpires seeing strikes and seeing balls, and now that there's going to be a computerized box in front of the catcher, then what the computer will tell you whether it's a ball or a strike. They'll be able to get a picture of where the ball is in that perimeter, and either it'll be a ball or it'll be a strike. I think it'll be a lot better. It'll be easier on the umpires. They're always complaining, well, this guy calls inside. This guy don't call this strike. That was too high. None of that will go on now. And we're kind of used to seeing that box on TV where the ball goes. Well, now the computer will take over that box, and it'll determine whether it's a strike or whether it's a ball. So in some of those calls, I can see that being, and it would take a lot of pressure off the umpires. I really do see that. Now the check swings, of course, I don't know what they're going to do about that. The first and third base umpires will still have to make a call on whether they swung at the ball over the bat, over the plate, but they probably, in years to come, they'll probably have something to computerized tell you whether the bat actually crossed that plate or not on that strike. But God bless you. Thank you for the question. They're going to go to it next year in the AA, single A ball, and work it into Major League Ball by 2027 as far as I know. So you got a couple of years before it gets to the Major Leagues. And where the umpire will he be behind there or not, I do not know. I do not know that information. He could still be back there, just not making the ball and strike calls. I don't know. I'll keep you posted on that. Refresh my memory in another year. God bless you, and thank you for your question. And the last question is from Deborah, and Deborah wanted to know if there be any females in the Indianapolis 500 this year. Deborah, the greatest race in IndyCar, Indianapolis 500 Memorial Day, does not have a female driver listed right now. Catherine Legg, that is driving out in the Infinity Series in NASCAR, run last year for Dale Cohn Racing. Nobody's told her to go up in May and start getting that car ready for that Memorial Day Classic. So I don't think she'll drive. But I'll say this, preface it. If any driver gets injured, and there could be some injured, God forbid, you have to get somebody that's qualified to do it. And Catherine Legg, that brings her own money, by the way, when she goes somewhere. That's a big thing in auto racing now. You bring in your own sponsor with you. That's bringing your own money. So if somebody has wrecked the car, God forbid, and you need a new car, the new sponsor is coming along with you wherever you go, you might just get that ride. So she might get a ride. I'll keep you posted on Catherine Legg getting a ride or any other female getting a ride. But as it stands right now, today, there is no female driver in the race for Memorial Day at the Indianapolis 500. And I'll keep you posted. God bless you for your question. And God bless you all for your support. Continue to share. Continue to send your questions and comments to us. We'll be glad to answer them. And we'll keep you posted on what's going on in sports. But as you know, let's honor the mothers of the world on Mother's Day. We all have one who has raised us and done the extras for us. So let's honor them on this weekend. God bless you. Till next show, Cowboys out.
Have you ever had a dream that you had you could you want him to do you so much you could do anything?